Welcome into today's pick a card reading. I am so grateful and honored to be here with you today, love. Thank you so much for tuning in and joining me. Now, before we get started with picking our different cards and pile choices today, I do want to share with you all the intention for this pick a card piles readings today. So we are going to actually be using a tarot spread that is titled The Journey, okay? And if you follow me on Instagram, you might have seen that I shared a couple days ago, maybe last week, I shared these old spreads that I found that I used to use to practice doing tarot readings with, and I would use these spreads in my very, very early days of offering readings to clients. And so I thought it would be really fun to bring them back onto my YouTube channel and just create some readings or pick a card readings based on some of these spreads. So we are starting with the Journey today. And I actually remembered that the Journey spread, it's not one that I personally created. It's actually from the guidebook of my very first tarot deck. And so I actually pulled out the guidebook so I could show you all. So the spread that we're going to be using today is from the Shadowscapes Companion. And I mean, look at this thing. This thing is so beat up. This is the book I used to learn tarot, and it was my first tarot deck. And so let's see, we have the tarot spread here. Here it is, The Journey, a Journey spread. And so what this spread is going to discuss today is we're going to have 7 cards. And the first 3 cards will discuss what it is that you're leaving behind, okay? And then the 4th card will be why. Why are you being called to start upon this new journey, okay? Why are you embarking on this new journey? And then 5 is going to represent the star, which is ultimately the energy of what is guiding you to go along this journey. And the cards that we draw out to represent our different pile choices is going to represent that 5th card there, the star. Okay, and then 6 is going to represent the, let's see if I can turn the page here. It's going, oh, we went, oh yeah, 6 here. 6, the challenge. So this will be a challenge that you will be facing on your journey. And sometimes this challenge may also be connected to those first 3 cards here, what it is that you're leaving behind, okay? And then the last card, 7, is going to be the destination, the end result, the end goal of what it is that you're actually moving towards, okay? So we are going to be creating a little bit different style readings today by following an actual tarot spread. You guys know usually I just pull cards and we just see what messages of guidance come through, but by following a tarot spread we create a little bit better sense of structure and we can get more direct, more specific guidance because we are setting very direct intentions for what each card is going to symbolize, okay? All right, loves, but with that being said, let's go ahead and get into our pile choices today. And once again, I'm going to share with you that this deck doesn't want to shuffle here. Once again, I'm going to share that the cards I draw to represent each of our different reading choices today is going to represent the number 5 card in the reading, which represents the star. Okay, so this is going to be your guide. And these cards, they are animal guides, okay? This is the Woodland Wardens deck, and so these will be animal guides that will ultimately be your guide on this journey that you're embarking upon. And I am filming this right before we enter into the new year of 2026, so this can also be significant to that new year that we're shifting into, okay? All right, so pile 1, your card jumped out of the deck right there. So pile 1, let's get pile 2 now. Okay, pile 2. Pile 3, okay. And then pile 4. All right, pile 4, it doesn't want to come out. Okay, we'll take this one here. Okay, All right, so these are our pile choices. If you prefer to intuitively pick before I unveil what's on the other side of the card or before I share the crystals, just take a moment to observe the cards and see which one your intuition is guiding you towards. And as always, I will have the timestamps in the description box down below for you to click on, and it will portal you directly to your reading. All right, loves, but let's go ahead and see what is on the other side of these cards. So pile 1, ooh, we have the Ladybug and Sweet Pea Happiness, number 35. All right, so your guiding star is the Ladybug, pile 1. And if you prefer to choose with a crystal, we are working with all pink today. All right, we have the pink background and I have all pink crystals here. So we have a cubic rose quartz for pile 1. All right, so pile 2. Oh, we have 0, which could also be represented by the Fool. Your guiding star is the Mouse and Buttercup with the keyword here, innocence, pile 2. And if you prefer to choose with a crystal, we have this tiny little flower agate here. Like a little pebble stone of flower agate. All right, so pile 2, you have the Mouse and Buttercup with the flower agate. See pile 3. All right, we have number 8 with the Elk and Ash, representing the energy of strength. All right, pile 3, your guiding star is the Elk, and your crystal is a little palm stone, rose quartz. Okay, so we have 2 rose quartz crystals today, but yours is a oval shaped palm stone here. And I know it's probably hard to see the rose quartz in the camera lens. It may appear to be more just of a white milky quartz, but this is rose quartz. All right, so pile 3, the Elk and Ash with the rose quartz. And pile 4, oh, we have number 10. Your guiding star is the Duck with chrysanthemum and luck. Right, pile 4, the Duck. And then your stone is the Botswana agate. Beautiful pink hues, Botswana agate. All right, oops, so these are your pile choices. So go ahead and select the star animal guide or the crystal that is just intuitively calling to you. And I will have the timestamps in the description box down below, or you can click on the chapters of this video and it will teleport you directly to the beginning of your reading, which is where I will meet you. See you there. Hello, love. Welcome into your reading. To those of you who chose pile 1, you have the Ladybug as your guiding star, or you selected the rose quartz. But we're going to actually set the Ladybug aside because this is going to be representing the 5th card in your reading today per the tarot spread that we are following. And so we are going to start by pulling your tarot cards and just seeing what it is that you're leaving behind before you embark upon this new journey. Okay, so these first 3 cards that we pull can represent anything that is going to be holding you back, anything that just doesn't serve you anymore, any lessons that you've learned, and now it's time to put them to rest. It's time to leave those experiences and connections behind and start on this new journey without that lingering energy, okay? All right, so let's see, what is pile 1 leaving behind before they start upon this new journey? And for the tarot deck today, we are using the Tarot of Tales. Tarot of Tales. All right, so let's see what we have. What are you leaving behind? Wow, 15, the Devil. The Devil, leaving behind this energy of feeling trapped, feeling stuck, anything that's keeping you in that energy, such as any like addictions or codependency, playing small, all right, living in the shadows of yourself, not wanting to step out into the light and show others, show yourself, show the world who you truly are. Wow, beautiful first card for what it is that we're leaving behind here, pile 1. All right, and then you also have the King of Wands. All right. And we have have the Queen of Wands. Wow, 2 wands, and they're both the court cards here. All right. Oh, we have some room to play around. Okay, I wasn't sure that we could fit them all on the screen, but they do fit here. Okay. All right. So what I'm seeing here with these 3 cards representing the energy of what it is that you're leaving behind, I'm seeing a couple different things. So first, when I turned over the King of Wands card, I heard you're leaving behind this energy of being very bossy. And so what that means is just like being very demanding. And I'm almost getting this energy where, kings and queens, they are at the top of the hierarchy. Like, they're at the top of their class, and they don't really take orders from anyone. They're the ones that are constantly giving out the orders. They're making demands. And so what I'm seeing here, it's almost like you've been in a position where you've been putting yourself on a pedestal, and Spirit's saying like it's okay to put yourself on a pedestal, but maybe you've been doing this maybe a little bit subconsciously with the expectations that others are at your beck and call, and that they just have to heed to your every demand. And so what I'm saying with that too, what I'm seeing with that is it's almost like there are things that you want to be doing, things that you want to be pursuing, but you're not allowing yourself to pursue them because you are demanding that others almost like do these things for you or meet your needs and expectations for these things to happen for you. So it's almost like it's something that you want to pursue, it's something that you want to make happen, but instead of putting in the work yourself, you're trying to get other people to do that work for you. And I'm seeing that it's not happening. It's not fulfilling you. It's not making you feel good. It's not making you feel fulfilled. It's not bringing you the achievements or the goals that you have set out to achieve from this vision and from these assumptions and expectations, because you're not the one that's actually pursuing this path. You're like guiding others and telling others how to pursue this path, okay? And so I just am seeing that there's this energy that is needing to shift here, where you allow yourself to step out into the light and to make these demands in a new way. It's time to kind of stop hiding behind the shadows, stop hiding in your throne room, stop hiding in your castle, in your room, in your house, and just kind of giving orders, from behind a desk, from behind a table, from behind a computer, whatever it is, and start to, step out of that environment of comfortability, of familiarity, and say to the world, like, kind of reclaim ownership and reclaim the power of what it is that you're actually wanting to pursue for yourself, versus constantly putting it off onto others and making them stake their claim over that power, because then of course they're going to get the credit for it. And so there could also be some like this energy of hesitancy for you to actually want to commit to and pursue this path, because you've been either putting the pressure on others to take these action steps for you versus taking them for yourself. Or I'm also seeing this contrasting energy where maybe you're constantly like looking at other individuals who are pursuing a path that you're wanting to pursue, who are very successful in it, but you're kind of hiding behind the shadows, not pursuing this path because you have these fears or subconscious beliefs that you're not worthy or you're not capable of pursuing this path and having the same level of achievement and success that these other individuals have. But if this is something that has been on your mind, this is something that you keep thinking about, this is something that you practice in the dark, in the shadows, then it is something that you are worthy of pursuing and experiencing and having great success over. So it is possible. It is possible for you. All right, so let's see if anything else comes through with these 3 cards here. What are you leaving behind? That was some heavy energy there, Pal One, that you're leaving behind. You're ultimately leaving behind this energy of playing small, hiding in the shadows, telling others what to do for you versus taking that responsibility, reclamation on for yourself, or hiding behind the shadows and constantly comparing yourself to others who are in spaces and positions and connections that you are desiring to be in. Okay, so one last message coming through with this is around distraction. All right, so King and Queen of Wands can embody this energy of busyness, being very, very busy. And so you may find yourself being very busy, very caught up in just like, not monotone, maybe mediocre monotone, like just these very repetitive tasks. So like habit patterns, comfortableness, like familiarity, like you're just very caught up in doing the same things every day. But it's something that you tell yourself, it's like, I'm really busy with these things, but they're things that don't align with the journey that you're wanting to pursue or the path forward that you're wanting to pursue. They're just like habit patterns that you've taken on. So it could be something very simple, such as like just the routine of, waking up at a certain time every day, going into the office, doing your job, okay, then going back home, and then just falling into these habits of like, doing the chores or watching TV or just reading a book and then going to bed and then getting up and doing it all over again. But there's something here, there's something more that you're wanting to explore that we're going to get into in a moment when we start pulling your next few cards for the journey ahead. There's something more that you're wanting to explore, but it's like these distractions of familiarity, of habit pattern, needs to be transformed, needs to be transmuted. So that way you realize that you do have time and space to be able to pursue what it is that you're wanting to pursue, and to also make the time to share what it is that you're wanting to share with others, okay? Because the Devil here, it's all about kind of playing it small, keeping yourself trapped in the same energy day in and day out, falling into patterns and habits of addiction or codependency on others, or what's the word? Like social media or food, or being addicted to the routine that you're in, or things like that. So we need to shift out of that energy, transmute it, and recognize that you can make a change. You can transform this energy to be able to access the depths of your power and reclaim it for yourself versus putting it onto others, or just hiding beneath the shadows and thinking that even though these other people have pursued this path and found success in it, doesn't mean that you won't, okay? So let's go ahead and get into the journey and see what you need to know about this journey. All right, so that's what you're leaving behind. That's what needs to be transmuted and transformed. So now let's see. Why are you embarking on this journey? All right, so why are you embarking on this journey? What is this journey going to offer you? Okay, and then I'm going to pull another card to go along with your star here. What is the guiding light for you on this journey? All right, what is the guiding light for you on this journey? We'll take this one. So we'll put this here. Oh, you know what? I'm going to put your crystal over here. All right, and then 6 is the challenge. So what challenge might you face on this journey? All right, and then I'm going to pull another oracle card from a different deck to go with this card. But Spirit's coming in and they're telling me to pull one more card for why you're embarking on this journey and what this journey is. So let's backtrack a little bit. Let's get one more card. for why you're embarking on this journey. Okay, and then we're going to pull your destination card. The end goal as the energy sits now. Okay, what is the possible end destination? What are you moving towards? Where is this journey taking you? Okay, so let's pull that last oracle card so when we get to the challenge we have it. So this is from the Sacred Rebels oracle deck. So it's going to represent the challenge. What challenge might you face on this journey? There's your card. Okay. All right, so let's see. Why are you embarking on this journey? All right, so we have 4 of coins. All right, and we also have the Knight of Cups. Okay. All right, so 4 of coins and Knight of Cups. This is really giving the energy of you trying to get out of this energy of survival mode and also being emotionally unfulfilled. All right, so let's see what comes through. Give me just a moment here to really tap in. Okay, so Spirit's telling me that this journey forward, it is meant to bring you the energy of emotional fulfillment. But again, it's like you keep getting caught up in this energy of what's available to you on a physical level. Like you feel as if you don't have enough to allow yourself to move forward in a way where you can bring this deeper sense of emotional fulfillment towards you. And so it's almost like you keep looking to your physical environment, your physical connections, the representation of material and monetary success to determine if you are emotionally fulfilled or not. Okay, and Spirit's saying you are having it backwards here, right? So the things in your physical environment, that's just extra stuff that becomes a direct reflection of how you're feeling internally. It's a direct reflection of what's going on internally. And so this is your guide to really look within and ask yourself what needs emotional, spiritual, and mental healing from within yourself first. And then once you do that deep inner healing work on what it is that you're feeling internally, then the external environment will start to shift for you. Okay, things will start to align with how you're feeling emotionally. Okay, I am feeling guided to recommend to you to look into human design. It's not something that I'm super knowledgeable in, but I know in human design I think there's like 5 to 7 different types in human design, and depending on what type you are, you have a different way of manifesting. And so there are people who manifest from the energy of feeling, and then there are people who manifest from the energy of the mind, of visualization. And just because you have the Knight of Cups here, I'm getting the sense that most of you who picked pile 1 will be manifestors from the energy of feeling. And so when you're trying to make something happen or trying to manifest something, trying to achieve something, it's really crucial that you allow yourself to tap into the energy of how will this end goal, how will this manifestation, how will it make you feel once you have it? How would it make you feel if you already had it today? Okay, and I just feel like that little tip is going to help you to bring healing to your inner emotions that you're processing and working through and bringing healing to. And it will also help you to better align with the physical manifestations that you're trying to create, that you're trying to call into your life at this time, okay? All right, let's see if anything else comes up here. I feel like this is more of just us getting some guidance for you about this journey, and Spirit's not sharing too much about this journey. So ultimately, I feel that they're sharing that you are embracing and walking upon this journey because you are meant to bring balance to your inner sense of emotional fulfillment in order to show you how your inner emotions is what creates the sense of safety and luxury and abundance in your external environment. Okay, so when things aren't working out for you physically, that is your sign to look within. Where are you holding on to energy that is mirroring that to you in your physical environment? And how can you allow yourself to feel what it is that you want to feel, or what it is that you want to experience in your physical environment within yourself first? Okay. All right, love. So let's go ahead and see what your next card is here with the star. So what is guiding you on this journey? So you drew your guiding star, your animal guide here, the Ladybug with Sweet Pea, which is the energy of happiness. And then your tarot card here is 11 with Justice. All right. So your guiding star is ultimately you trying to come into a place of balance and happiness, emotional fulfillment. That's what we keep talking about here. You know, we all want to be happy. We all want to feel happy in this life. And so something that's going to be very important for you to ask yourself as you continue working upon this journey, working upon this path, is what brings you happiness. We're no longer worried about what others are doing, how they got on this path, how they achieve their success, but really coming back into yourself and asking yourself if the path that you're on, the environments you're in, the connections you're in, the practices that you're partaking in your day-to-day life, those routines, those habits that you find yourself embracing every single day, do they stir up good feelings of joy, of peace, of abundance? Do you feel balanced? Do you feel harmonious in the connections that you're in the environment that you're in the practices that you're partaking in? Okay, these are going to be very important questions to be asking yourself as you maneuver through this journey, through this path that you're walking upon right now, because you're really trying to come back into balance with yourself in order to recreate a better sense of safety and structure, luxury and abundance in your physical environments. All right, but it starts from within, really looking within, reflecting from within, and asking yourself, does this bring me joy? Does this serve me? Does this serve my higher self? Does this bring me emotional fulfillment, satisfaction? Do I feel balanced and at ease when I'm practicing these habits, these routines, these tasks, when I'm speaking with these people, when I'm showing up to this job? Does it make you feel safe? Does it help you feel regulated? Do you feel a sense of joy? Do you feel a sense of peace? If the answer is no, one, it's time to look within and figure out what will secure those feelings. And then two, start taking the steps that your intuition guides you towards to help you align and recreate that energy in your physical spaces as well. All right, love, so let's see what your challenge is here. So 6, this is a challenge you may face on your journey. 2 of Cups. And let's see what your oracle card is. 30, the perfection of your life. All right, are you a perfectionist? Are you a perfectionist? Okay, so with these 2 cards coming out together, I'm getting a couple different things here. So some of the challenges that you may face along this journey, 1, perfectionism. But Spirit is saying, where does that perfectionism come from? And then it kind of piggybacks on the 2 of Cups here, where it's like you're constantly, it goes back to what it is that you need to leave behind, what it is that's holding you back here, around the message of constantly comparing yourself to other people who are on a path, on a journey, or following pursuits that you're wanting to pursue. It's like you're unable to allow yourself to pursue those things because you're just hiding in the shadows and just watching other people achieve success on a path that you want to be on, and possibly constantly telling yourself that you could never do that, even though you're observing that it is possible for other people, which signifies that it is possible for you too. Okay, so with that Two of Cups coming out, a challenge you may face is really holding on to this energy of thoughts and opinions from other people, which is why you fall into the habits of thinking that everything needs to have this essence of being perfect behind it, because you don't want to leave room for people to cast judgments or opinions that go against what it is you're trying to create or share or initiate, from you just being yourself and sharing your truth and sharing your light with others. Okay, and so with that being said here, pile one, you cannot please anyone. You can't please anyone. You can't please everyone. The only person that you can fully please is yourself. And it's from you getting real with yourself around everything that we've been talking about here, and just following the light, following the path of what will instill a sense of happiness and joy and peace within you. Once you create something or you say something and you put it out there, it's no longer yours to cast an energy of protection over. If you said it from a space of love and honesty and truth from yourself, then that is perfect. You were perfect in that moment. Your creations were perfect in that moment. And what other people have to say about it, it is not your responsibility to cater to moving forward. It's not your responsibility to be defensive about it either, okay? It's only your responsibility to ask yourself if you felt good, you felt safe in what it is that you said, you felt honest and truthful in what it is that you said, and let it be. Let it be. It's no longer yours to cast a bubble of safety and protection over, because others may be finding quote unquote flaws within it. Others can only judge other things, other people, from the depths of the current subconscious beliefs that they're operating from, and that is not your responsibility to fix or to mend or to bring awareness to. That is for them to work through. Your responsibility is you and your own sense of emotional fulfillment and the divine path that you are walking upon. All right. So it's okay if things are not perfect. Just do it anyways. It's okay if people talk about it. People are always going to talk about things. They're always going to talk about you. They're going to say what they want to say. None of that is your responsibility to know or to care. All right. You are your responsibility. Your well-being, your emotional well-being, and your sense of emotional fulfillment is what really matters to you most, what should matter to you most in this journey that you're walking upon. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and see what your last card is here with the destination. Where and what is it that you are moving towards? Wow. This is such a beautiful reading, pile one. 10 of Cups. 10 of Cups is the happiest card in the deck. This is the card that symbolizes complete and utter emotional fulfillment. And so you will get there. You are already there. And so when I say that, I'm saying that from the power position of manifestation. If you want to manifest something, you have to believe that it's already present, it's already possible in the reality and the moment that you're existing in now, because it is. And so you're already there. You've already found this energy of complete happiness. You've already found this energy of emotional fulfillment. And just from you embodying that energy and believing that it's possible, no matter which path you take, no matter which path you pursue, just as long as we're getting out of those shadows of comparison and demands and codependency there and habitual patterns, once you move out of that energy and come into a space of just pursuing the paths that you know will bring you back into balance and make you feel good, make you feel happy, make you feel joyful and abundant, then that joy, that that joy, that emotional fulfillment will manifest itself outwardly into your physical spaces as well. It will mirror back to you the deep emotional work that you've done to get yourself to feeling joyful, to feeling grateful, to feeling emotionally happy, emotionally abundant within. It will start to shift your external environment as well, okay? So something else that was coming up that that's why it took me a moment to get that message out there, is because there's also this message coming through around recognizing that you can be in the energy of joy and peace and abundance, even if you're still in this Four of Coins energy, okay? So even if you quite yet don't have the things that you're trying to manifest, you probably have something that resembles what it is that you're trying to manifest, okay? So say you live in like a small duplex townhome, okay? You're connected to somebody else's house, and you know it's very nice, but maybe you feel a little trapped because maybe your neighbor's constantly like banging on the wall, or you know, maybe they're constantly out in their front yard doing stuff and it's just really distracting to you, and you just feel trapped, you feel stuck, okay? And so Spirit's saying that even though you don't necessarily feel joyful in that environment 100%, you can still find a way to feel the energy of joy that you will feel when you move into the bigger private mansion home that you're trying to manifest. But you can also still feel gratitude for just having that home, having a shelter, having a yard of your own, even if it's shared, you know, having the walls that divide you from having to live together with that other individual. You can still find ways to feel grateful, which will help you to boost the emotional energy of joy and abundance that is required to help you align with and manifest that bigger private mansion home that you're trying to manifest, okay? And that's just an example. You can apply that to anything that you're trying to move out of into, you know, something greater, something different that you think will bring you a greater sense of emotional fulfillment. But just remember that it starts from within. But this was a beautiful destination card to receive for your reading. 10 of Cups is the happiest card in the deck, and so you are on your way there. You're already there. All right, love, so that is it for your reading today. I thank you so much for allowing me to bring forth these messages of guidance and share this reading with you today, loves. If you enjoyed this style of reading where we drew cards by following a tarot spread, let me know. I would love to share more of these if you guys are into it. Just let me know in the comments what you thought, and if you'd like to see more tarot spread type readings. There are some that I personally created that I found as well, and then I have tons of tarot books where we can just maybe like randomly open up to a page and create tarot spreads that way as well, so we can make it fun and exciting and different each time. So let me know if you're into it. And let me know if this reading resonated with you in the comments below. I love to hear from you all. All right, loves. So that is it for your reading today. I thank you so much once again. Until next time. Bye, loves. Hello, love. Welcome to those of you who chose pile 2. So if you chose pile 2, your guiding star is the mouse with the energy of Buttercup and Innocence. So we're actually going to set this aside though, because we are going to be creating the Journey Tarot spread today, and this represents card number 5 in that spread. And so we're just going to start with, of course, 1 through 3, which is the energy of what it is that you're leaving behind, what is holding you back and no longer serving you, and possibly preventing you from pursuing and moving forward with this journey that you're embarking upon. Or this could also just be about the energy of lessons that you've already learned, that you've already integrated, and that it's time to now put to rest. Okay, so let's see what it is that you're leaving behind, and then we'll get into the messages around what you need to know to help carry you through this journey that you're embarking upon. All right, so for today's reading, we are using the Tarot of Tales deck. All right, that is too many cards there, so we're gonna put those up and we'll take that card sticking out. All right, so we would like to get 2 more cards here. What is that you're leaving behind? Wow, your cards are like flying out, okay? And we'll take these 2. Last 2 here, but your cards are flying out of the deck. Pushed your crystal out of that spread there. So this is like the energy of really jumping into things, which is so funny because the mouse, like when you think of mice, they're just getting into everything. They're all over the place. They're running around so quickly, you can't catch them. And so that's just representative of your energy for this journey. It's something that you're really excited, really anxious to begin. Okay, but before we can begin, we have to put to rest what it is that we're leaving behind. So let's see what it is that's ready to leave behind. King of Cups. All right, so we're starting off with the King of Cups. All right, and we have the Tower here, 16, the Tower. And we have the 3 of Wands. 3 of Wands. All right, so let me take a moment here to see what's coming through. I feel as though there is something that you have become a bit emotionally attached to. It's something that you have really strong emotions around. And the 3 of Wands often represents the energy of family. Okay, I know here this 3 of Wands is depicted a little bit differently. There's just a solo fox here. But this card can often represent the energy of family, or even like moving towards the energy of family, moving towards a new journey. And so what I'm getting here is that there is something that it's almost like connections. It's very strong bonds, very strong connections that you have, that you are holding on to, that are possibly preventing you from being able to fully move forward and embark upon this new path, this new journey that you're wanting to embark upon. I'm also getting here for you, pile 2, that there could be some subconscious beliefs or conditionings, or you could even be very conscious of them. We have 232 on the clock right now, so that may be significant to somebody. But what I'm seeing is it's like you have these beliefs about yourself that you have been conditioned to believe, essentially. So it's like beliefs that you didn't really cast upon yourself. It's like somebody told you that you are this way, and so you took on that identity to be true to yourself, and you're starting to realize and learn through life experiences, through making connections with different people, different types of people, that you don't have to take those identities and beliefs on for yourself. But because you were possibly conditioned to believe these things about yourself from very young, they're very much rooted in your subconscious mind. And so it's almost like you're trying to break free from those beliefs so that you can fully allow yourself to align with this new journey and what it is that you are trying to align with, but it's requiring you to decompartmentalize things that you believe about yourself and take on a new identity, take on a new energy and new belief systems about yourself. Okay, so it's almost like this energy of, wanting to be somewhere very specifically, but somebody told you that you could never get there, you could never be that, you could never do that, and you took on this energy of believing them, and you're waking up to the facts and realizing that just because somebody told you you can't or do something doesn't mean that it's true. You can be and do and have anything that you want and desire. Okay, but it is taking some work to dismantle those subconscious beliefs. And so, coming back around to the energy of family and connections, I'm seeing that you really care deeply about either the people who taught you these things because you've been connected with them for so long, or because they are, your family members, they're your blood. And so there's also these beliefs that you hold on to, that if you make these changes in your life, you may fear that it's going to kind of dismantle and crumble the relationship and the bonds that you have with them. And Spirit is saying that they're saying that you have to do what's best for you and your path moving forward. That's why you have the Three of Wands here, and that's why this is the last card in this part of the spread too, because it's like you have to leave behind what's holding you back and allow yourself to move forward and explore these things that your heart and soul has been dreaming of exploring and being and becoming. Okay? And Spirit's also saying that if these individuals truly love you and they share this bond of truth and love with you, they will love you no matter what. Okay? And if they fall away from you, then that's just a sign that they were never truly supportive of who you are on a soul level, on a core level, like who you are truthfully internally, before they conditioned you to believe or before they implied who you were to them. Okay? And so it's not up to you to cater to their beliefs about you. It's up to you to just be yourself 100%. And if you change who you are, that's okay. It doesn't mean you have to continue to cater to who they thought you were, okay? Because people change and grow and evolve every single day. It's just a part of life. It is life, evolution there. And so it's okay to change who you are, what you do, where you live, what you have, what you want. It's okay to want those changes and to start making those changes. And again, if the people in your life truly care about you and love you for who you are, they will support you through these changes, these transitions, these transformations that you're instilling within and for yourself. Now, one last message coming through around what it is that you're leaving behind here is when you start to make these shifts in your subconscious beliefs about your identity, and you start to heal those conditioned beliefs, conditioned thought patterns that you have, it can be very challenging to witness the connections, like the other individuals that you're connected to that implicated these conditioned beliefs onto you, because they are still going to be existing in those same thought patterns and habit patterns. And it can be very easy to want to try to almost like teach and guide them to make the same changes that you're making. But if they are not ready to make those changes for themselves, then that's on them. Okay, it's not up to you to make the changes in their life for them. It's not up to you to make them see how these changes are bettering your life for you. It's only up to you, again, to take care of yourself and make these changes for you and for your path and journey moving forward. Okay, so that's just something to remember, something that Spirit wants to remind you of as you start making those changes and transforming those subconscious beliefs and thought patterns. Okay. All right, love. So let's go ahead and get into the journey, and let's pull your next few cards. Okay, so we are going to be pulling the next card, which is, why are you embarking on this journey? What is this journey offering to you? All right, so why is pile 2 embarking on this journey? What is it offering to you? So what is it embarking on you? All right, and we're going to pull 2 for this one here, okay? And then we're also going to pull a tarot card to go with your animal guide here, the mouse. And so this card represents the star. What is guiding you on this journey? All right, what is guiding you on this journey? And then we will pull card number 6. What challenge might you face on this journey? Okay, and I will pull an oracle card for this one as well. Okay, so your last card, the destination card here, where and what are you moving towards? It just fell off the table, so let me grab that. And I was going to say, there your cards go again, flying out of the deck. And you actually have 2 cards flying out of the deck for your destination, so we'll take that. And so let's really quickly pull your oracle card for the challenge here. So let's see what oracle card goes along with the challenge that you might face on this journey. Okay, we'll take that one. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the journey. So we are starting with why you're embarking on this journey. Wow, we have 7 the Chariot. 7 the Chariot, and we have 3 of Coins. All right, these readings are just so beautifully synchronistic. And so really, I feel like you are embarking on this journey because you are trying to get out of this energy of constantly having to rely on others. And if that doesn't resonate, ultimately, I'm seeing with the Chariot here that there's something that you're trying to move away from. And to me, it just really feels like this connection of reliance, a connection of codependence. But you have done this deep inner work, okay, like what we talked about here with reconditioning those subconscious beliefs, those thought patterns, those habit patterns about yourself, about the environment that you find yourself in, the connections that you find yourself in. You've done so much internal reflection around that and inner work to bring healing to those thought patterns and habit patterns about yourself and the spaces that you've been in, that now you're ready to leave it all behind. You're ready to move forward and to explore new avenues and to just see what else is out there, to see what else is possible for you. But ultimately, there is this underlying energy of reliance that you are trying to move away from. And so you're trying to also move into this energy of finding independence within yourself. Very straightforward here. Very straightforward as to why you're embarking on this journey. So let's go ahead and see what your star is, your guiding star. Okay, so of course you selected the Mouse and Buttercup with Innocence here. So let's see what your tarot card is to go along with this. Wow, 9 of Wands. I do not recall ever seeing this card in this deck. This is really a really trippy card here. Really cool illustration. Okay, 9 of Wands and the Mouse with Innocence. All right, so ultimately your guiding star here is the energy of your innocence, the energy of not quite knowing what's next. Okay, and so that's why your message here was so straightforward, why you're embarking on this journey, because you already know why you're embarking on this journey. It's to get away from the people, the places, the thought patterns, the beliefs that were ultimately holding you back from believing in yourself and pursuing the impossible. Like, there are just so many limits that these past places and connections held over themselves, and that naturally trickled down into your subconscious beliefs and made you believe the same thing, that you had to place limitations upon yourself and upon what was possible for you to pursue and achieve in this life. But you are realizing that none of that is true, and that you can have, you can do, and you can be anything and anyone that you want to be in this life. And so now it's time to almost like just get on the train, get in the car, and just drive somewhere new, and to just see what else is out there. So it's almost like you don't really quite know what's next. And so it's time for you to just try, to just like pick something, try it. If it doesn't work, you can pick a new color and try again, and just to keep trying until something really lands for you. That's why your cards were like jumping out all over the place too, is because you're moving into this energy of wanting to like jump from one thing to the next, because you're so excited to be out of that comfort zone, to be out of that familiarity, to be out of that repetitiveness, and to be out of that energy of just believing that you can't have it all, when you're going to prove yourself, prove that energy, prove those past relationships and connections completely wrong, because you're going to get out there and you're going to try it all. You're going to try all the different things that you ever hoped to try and to pursue, and you're going to learn through that process of experimentation exactly what is in alignment for you, what feels good to you, what doesn't feel good to you. And so that's a reminder coming in too, is that when you start to try something new, if it doesn't vibe with you, if you don't like it, if it sends you back into these, power plays of thinking that that's all there is to life and that's all you'll ever do or be, then that's probably not something that's in alignment for you. And it's okay to leave that behind as well and to jump to the next thing that you have wanted to try. Okay, so just keep trying until something really lands for you, until something feels good to you. Okay, so the energy with this mouse, Buttercup, and that energy of innocence, it's really a blessing for you right now, because you are getting to almost like rediscover life again through the lens of a child. It's like you're getting to see a whole new world, a whole new culture, a whole new way of being and doing things and practicing things. And so here for you, pile 2 as well, you may be moving to a completely new environment, maybe moving to a new country that you've never been to before, and just learning that there are different ways that people live and experience life, learning that there are different landscapes, different environments that you can live in and experience as well, okay? And you're just getting to try completely new things on this journey, and it's just going to completely rewire your subconscious and conscious beliefs about yourself and what is possible for you in this lifetime and on this journey that you're embarking upon. All right, love, so let's go ahead and see what challenge might you face on this journey. Okay, so we have the Queen of Coins, and we have 5 with Follow Your Own Rhythm. All right, 5 with Follow Your Own Rhythm, and I'm going to cover this one up because YouTube gets a little silly with the human body. All right, but we have Follow Your Own Rhythm and Queen of Coins. Okay, so ultimately I'm getting a couple different things here. So one, you may find challenges in the looseness of this new journey, okay, because you are so used to being in the same place, connecting with the same people day in and day out, and you are moving away from that. You're moving to a completely new environment, completely new way of being, and it can be a little bit challenging to uncover and discover how you want to go about pursuing life in your day-to-day routines, in your natural rhythms, and just things like that. Okay, so this is almost giving the energy where some of you could be like maybe graduating, moving out of your parents' house for the first time, and you're just learning how to be on your own. And it's something that you've never done before. And so, there is always a learning curve to experiences like that, where you have to recognize that, mom and dad aren't going to be doing the dishes for you. They're not going to be doing your laundry. They're not going to be making you meals every day. And so you have to learn to develop your own rhythms of self-care, time management, taking care of, the house that you live in, the spaces that you live in. And so there could be challenges of routine in that. And then there could also just be challenges in finding your own rhythm with this new environment that you're living in as well, especially if you resonate with like moving to a new country, being embraced by a new culture. There are things that you're going to have to learn about, things that, this new environment, people in this new culture may do day in and day out that you're just not familiar with. And so you may have to really assess whether or not this is something that you want to partake in or not, or how you want to maneuver this, how you want to learn about those routines, and how you're going to take them on or not take them on for yourself. Okay. And then with the Queen of Coins here, I feel that on a subconscious level, you may have these fears or hesitancy around how your physical needs will be met. Okay, so this could look different for everyone. It could, one, be about what I talked about with like, maybe you're moving out of somebody's house, or, going off into the world on your own for the first time. Or even like maybe your children are moving out of the house. And so you're learning how to reassess your physical needs, whether you're having to learn how to take care of these physical needs on your own for the first time because like mom and dad aren't doing it anymore, or you're learning how to let go and not do so much because your kids have moved out of the house now, and so you don't have like all this laundry to do or all these like check-ins to do with other people, and now you're really being gifted the time to just focus on yourself and what it is that you want to do in your day-to-day with and for yourself. Okay, and then the other example coming through with Queen of Coins too was like financial needs. But because you have the Queen of Coins, I'm seeing here that, you know, your physical needs, financial, environment, physical relationships, those needs will be met. It's just that how they will be met is what's shifting, is what's changing, and it's also going to require your attention. It's going to require different efforts from you, okay? But you will get through this because you have the Queen of Coins here, which is very positive, very uplifting card. It's the card that represents abundance. It's the card that represents security. And so you will find your way in this new physical spaces that you're shifting into, okay? All right, love, so let's go ahead and see what your last two cards are here, which represent the destination. I can't talk. Destination. Where and what are you moving towards? All right, so we have 20 Judgment. All right, and we have the Ace of Cups. All right, so new beginnings, new emotional beginnings. You're going from the King of Cups, where you had strong emotional fulfillment, strong emotional connections. You're really rooted in your beliefs, to now moving into new environments, new connections that will continue to carry you through in this positive, uplifting energy of emotional fulfillment and self-satisfaction. Okay, but with this Judgment card here, I see that, you know, it's like the way that you're going to receive that energy of emotional fulfillment is what's changing. So where you once found emotional fulfillment down here in the cave of your parents' basement, or with your children living at home here, now you're moving out of the cave, or they're moving out of the cave, and you're finding new horizons that will provide you with a deeper sense of emotional fulfillment. And so you're going to have to navigate what that means for you on a personal level, and how you're going to fill your own cup up now, because you're no longer living in that space of comfortability, of familiarity, and you're bringing healing to anything that was essentially preventing you from moving out of this cave into the grander, larger world that you're now moving into, that you're now embracing, that you're now embarking upon. But you will find emotional fulfillment. You will find new connections, new experiences that will bring you a sense of joy, a sense of peace, and that will help to affirm the deep inner work that you have done to get yourself to this point of leaving behind those relationships, those connections, and those environments that weren't fully serving you and weren't allowing you to see that the world is limitless, and that who you are and who you want to be and become has limitless potential as well. And so you are on your way. Keep moving forward with this path. You will be okay, and you will get through it. All right, pile 2. So that is it for your Journey Tarot reading. I thank you so much for tuning in, loves. If you enjoyed this reading, please give this video a thumbs up and comment down below if you enjoyed this style of reading. This is the first time I think that I've done a tarot spread reading on my channel, and so let me know if this is something that you're into. I have tons of old tarot spreads that I used to create, and maybe we can also just like open up one of my tarot books and just randomly pick a spread and create readings based off of those spreads. So let me know if you prefer this style of reading or my traditional style of reading where we just pull cards and see what comes through. So let me know what you prefer, and if you resonated with the messages that come through. I'm really excited for you to embark upon this new journey. So let me know where you're moving to, if you're moving somewhere new and exciting. But once again, loves, that's it for your reading, and I thank you so much once again. Until next time, bye, love. Hello, loves. Welcome into those of you who chose pile 3. If you chose pile 3, your guiding star is the elk with the element of ash and the keyword strength. or you chose the beautiful rose quartz palm stone here. So what we're going to do for your reading is we're actually going to set this card aside for now because this card represents number 5 in the Journey Tarot spread that we're creating today. And we're of course going to start with the first card 1 through 3. And so for your reading today, we are tapping into the energy of what you need to know about a journey that you are embarking upon. Okay, but we are first going to start with pulling cards to see what it is that you're leaving behind. Okay, so these first 3 cards can represent anything that is holding you back, anything that's no longer serving you, or lessons that you have already learned, and now it's time to just put those lessons and experiences to rest so that you can walk upon a new path of learning new lessons and experiences. All right, loves. So we are using the Tarot of Tales deck today. So let's see what it is that pile 3 is leaving behind. Okay, I knew that card was going to come in there. So let's see what we have here. Okay, we have 7 of Cups. This is my favorite card in this specific tarot deck. I love this illustration of the 7 of Cups. All right, let's see what else we have. 9, the Hermit. Oh, okay. So it looks like you're leaving behind this energy of solitude. 2 of Cups. Yeah, leaving behind this energy of self-reflection, inner reflection. So some of you may have been getting really caught up in this energy of like a planning phase, like staying at home, planning something, maybe even in the energy of creating something that you're wanting to share with the world around you or share with others around you. Maybe you've been creating lesson plans because there's something that you have to say, something that you want to teach others. But you just haven't come forward with these creations yet, or with these lessons plans just yet, or maybe you've been writing a book or creating a timeline for a book, or not a timeline, what is it called? An outline for a book, and you just haven't come forth with like sharing these creations or these experiences with others around you quite yet. And it feels like here with the 2 of Cups, even though you've been on this journey of solitude and inner reflection, inner healing, creation, you've been in your own little bubble, it doesn't mean that you were completely alone. So the 2 of Cups here, it has two meanings for you. So you may have been like in a bubble with just like 1, maybe 2 really close people. So like a significant other, or maybe like your family members, like your mom and dad, or a sibling, or a roommate. And this is just like somebody that you have just been really reliant on as you've been maneuvering through this journey of solitude, self-reflection, and creation. And then the other significance of the 2 of Cups here is that the journey that you've been on with yourself, it has been one of deep passion. Okay, so 2 of Cups represents love here, and I love that because here in the 7 of Cups, we have the little heart peeking through, and the toad is looking at its own reflection in the water there. Okay, so this journey, even though it's been one of solitude, maybe a little bit of loneliness, it has been one that was initiated because of a deep passion for yourself and a deep passion for something that you have been wanting to create. And not just create it, something that you have been creating, but I'm getting the sense that it's also something that, because you're so passionate about it, you're wanting to share it with others. You're wanting to put it out there into the world and show others what you've learned about yourself on this inner journey and what you have created while you were on this journey with yourself. And so what I'm seeing is this may be something that you're going to have to overcome as you start to embark upon this new journey. Okay, so let's see if anything else comes through here with your letting go cards. This energy, it's just so clear cut, very straightforward for you here, pile 3. I feel too something that you're leaving behind is ultimately that energy of being on your own and being really caught up in your own spaces, being caught up in your own little bubble, connecting only with those one or two people that you've been connecting with. And so you're going to be moving out of that energy and start connecting with and sharing what it is that you've been learning, what it is you've been integrating and creating with others around you. Okay, so let's go ahead and just dive right into the next part of your reading and see what it is that you're embracing, what it is that you're embarking upon within this journey. So let's see. So we're going to pull all of your cards for this part of the journey. Okay, so we're going to start with card number 4. What are you embarking on with this journey? And we'll just pull 1 or 2 cards for this. Yeah, here we have 2. Okay, and then we are going to pull a tarot card to go with this card here. This is your guiding star, your animal guide for this journey. So what is guiding you on this journey? And we're just going to pair a tarot card with it. Okay, and then we'll have card number 6 here, which will represent the challenge you might face on this journey. Okay, what challenge might pile 3 face on this journey? Okay, and then I'm also going to pull an oracle card to go along with that challenge from the Sacred Rebels oracle deck. So let's see what challenge might pile 3 face on this journey. Okay, so there's your oracle card. And then let's pull your last card here, number 7. I think this is 6. We're pulling 7 now. I think I might have said 7 here. But we're pulling 7 now. So what is the destination? And your card flipped out. I hope you didn't see it because we're not there yet. But you have 2 cards. And this represents where and what it is that you're moving towards. Okay, the end destination, the end goal that you're seeking. All right, so let's start here with why are you embarking on this journey? What is this journey about? So you have the 6 of Swords, and then you also have the Queen of Wands, okay? Wow, look at that. 6 of Swords with the graduation caps. I feel as though you are ultimately graduating from the lessons and experiences that you've learned on this journey of the Hermit, where you may have had to go through this journey of like almost like making a lot of difficult choices for yourself and maybe for your family that you're close with, you know, or your roommates. You know, you've had to go through a challenging process, a challenging time of spending a lot of time on your own and just feeling like you were alone in the sense of like the decisions that you had to make for yourself. Okay, because 7 of Cups here represents the energy of decisions. And then the 6 of Swords represents this energy of mental clarity, coming back into a state of peace of mind, very positive, very uplifting and supportive energy. And so now you're embarking on this journey to allow yourself to have a deeper sense of self-understanding because of what you've gone through and having to really rely on yourself and just those few people in your inner circle. But you've also learned a lot in the experience and journey of creating something that you were very passionate about, something that was very true to yourself. And now you're getting to ultimately move on from the processing phase, the creation phase, and being able to cross over to the other side of it, where you get to move into a state of action in supporting what it is that you've created and what it is that you've learned through the like external shifts, like sharing this with your external environment, your peers, different communities around you, maybe sharing it online in some way, or, you know, if you're like writing a book, getting signed with a publisher, if you're like writing a record, an album, you know, getting signed with like a record deal, things like that, like really putting your creation out there and supporting it in the ways that it needs to be supported now to graduate to the other side, to graduate to the next phase, to move on to the next phase. And so you've done the inner work, you've done the time and provided it with the energy and effort that you could have provided it with, but now that phase of the journey is completed, and now it's time to move into the next phase. And so even though this journey was one of deep internal reflection and planning and creation mode and making tough decisions for this project, for this creation, for yourself, now you are moving into, oh my loves, the message just slipped away. You guys know how it always does that. It was about the energy of like really being on your own with this, like having to make these decisions and these choices for this creation, for these lessons, these experiences on your own. But now you're moving into a phase where you may need support and guidance from other people in order to allow the next phase of this idea or this creation to flourish even more so. Okay, so it's like you've done the work as much as you could have done up to this point with it on your own, and now it's time to support the work that you've done or what you've created in a new way by allowing other people to come in and do their part to allow this creation to flourish. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. All right, like you've done all that you could with it on your own, and now it's time to move forward into the next phase to allow this to continue to thrive and to grow and to evolve and to adapt so that it can reach the other individuals that it needs to reach. And for some of you, this is like yourself, okay? Like maybe you've been on the journey of the hermit where you've been learning deeper truths about yourself, really tending to yourself, but now it's time for you to step back out into the world and connect with others, and find your groove, find your place in a community that really supports you, that honors you and all that you learned in this journey of inner solitude and reflection. All right, love, so let's go ahead and see what your guiding star is on this journey. So first you have the elk and ash with strength. This is your animal guide. Let's see what your tarot card is. Okay, the 5 of Swords. Okay, so as you move from this phase of living in solitude into a phase where you are stepping out into the world, stepping out into new spaces, into new communities, into new environments, new connections, things are going to feel a little chaotic. It's going to feel like a whirlwind of emotions and energy. And even though you have the 6 of Swords here, which is declaring that this journey that you're embarking upon will lead you to a sense of mental and emotional inner peace, it is going to require you to hone in on your inner strength as you navigate the changing of environments, the changing of routines, the changing of the connections and the people that you allow to come into your life because you're so used to doing things on your own. You're so used to supporting these creations and these lesson plans that you've created on your own, in your own way, with your own thoughts and emotions and feelings. But now you're stepping out into a new phase where you really need support and guidance and help from other people. And so you're going to have to learn how to work with other people in that way to support the creation and the success of whatever it is that you're trying to share with the world. Okay, and so it's going to be a little different because they're going to have their own ideas, they're going to have their own thoughts and opinions, they're going to have their own skills and knowledge and wisdom as to how to ensure the success of whatever it is that you're wanting to share and put out into the world with others. They're going to have different ideas, thoughts, and opinions as to how the success of this venture, of this journey can be possible, can be made possible. And so your guiding star is to just allow yourself to be a little bit flexible, even though things may feel a little bit chaotic internally and mentally because you're navigating having to sort of share the workload for this creation, for this journey with others. You're going to have to tap into that inner strength, into this elk medicine energy, tap into your sense of resilience and understanding that other people may have different experiences and perspectives, and it's okay to be open to listening to their ideas and perspectives as to how they can help you ensure the success of whatever it is that you're trying to share and put out there in the world, okay? Even if it's things about yourself too, okay? Spirit wants me to keep saying that. They're also saying, like, don't take it personally, because this is so deeply personal to you. It's something that you're really passionate about, but there may be some things that happen along the way, or things people say that happen along the way around what it is that you've created, and it may feel as though they are, I don't want to say like attacking, but like almost like the energy of attacking. Like, you'll just feel as if they're like rejecting your ideas or your thoughts as to how this creation, how sharing it with the world can be successful. And it's not that they're attacking you or they're rejecting your ideas and thoughts. It's just, again, that they have different experiences, and they may know more things about the ways that you're needing support in getting this out there. So an example here, because the Hermit is writing here, so if you know, like, you're creating a book and you take it to a publishing agency to get it published, to get it out into the world, you know a lot about the story and having written the book, but you may not know a lot about the marketing side of how to push your book to ensure that it gets into people's hands. And so, you know, they may have some ideas that go against what you once thought or what you once believed or what you want to have happen for the journey of this book and putting it out into the world. And so Spirit's just saying to, you know, be really open-minded to listening to others' thoughts and perspectives and wisdom about how to put this creation out there and how to ensure that it's success, because they may know a little bit more about those certain aspects of the potential of this creation reaching the success that it's meant to create, okay? Okay, loves. So let's go ahead and see the challenge. What is the challenge that you may face on this journey? Ooh, we have King of Swords. You have lots of swords in your reading here. So your mind is going to be one here. And we have 38, restore and replenish. Okay. King of Swords with restore and replenish. Okay, so a challenge that I'm seeing here for you, it's going to piggyback a little bit off of your guiding star here, where when things get a little bit chaotic, you're going to have to remember to make time and space to rest and reflect and replenish yourself. This is something that you're very good at. This is something that you are used to doing, okay, because you're used to being in this bubble with yourself of inner reflection, of planning things, spending time in solitude, and just really being with yourself. And so a challenge that you may have is almost like wanting to go back into that bubble, wanting to pull your creation back and, you know, just like cut all those contracts, cut all those lines of communication with other people that you've allowed to have access to these creations and these thoughts and opinions. So that is something that you may have to challenge, okay? But with the King of Swords here, Spirit is guiding you to remember your why for this journey. Why did you choose to graduate from that space of keeping this creation, keeping this journey, this idea to yourself? Why did you graduate from that phase of solitude, planning, and reflection into starting to share this creation with the world around you, starting to put it out there? Okay, there's a why behind this. There's something really magical, really beautiful that you have created here, that you have learned about yourself, that you've learned about life, that you've learned about something or something that you've created that's just so magical. It's so beautiful, and it has the potential to help others, to allow them to tap into their own inner strength and to see the energy of passion and love that exist within yourself, but as a reflection of what also exists in the world around us and as a whole, and how it connects us as a whole. So there's something really beautiful that you have created here, and Spirit wants you to remember that when you go into those mindsets of wanting to pull away because things seem a little difficult, or they seem like they're not going your way, because people are pushing to help you get this creation out there in a different way than you had perceived, just remember your why for wanting to put this creation, wanting to share these lessons and experiences with others around you. remember your why, okay? Keep it written somewhere that you can see every single day, just as a little reminder as to why you're doing this. And of course, don't forget to come back into yourself when things get a little bit difficult. Take a moment to just breathe. So breathwork meditation is being recommended here. Daily breathwork meditation. Getting out of your mind into your body, even though you're going to be very much in your mind, very much connecting with other people's minds, thoughts, opinions, skills, and wisdom. Don't forget to come back into your body as you maneuver through this journey, okay? Just because you're putting that energy of solitude to rest doesn't mean that you can't make time for daily solitude. 5 minutes a day, an hour a day, a couple hours a day, and then go out, connect with the world, start sharing this creation with others around you, and gaining the support that you need from the community around you, okay? Okay, love, so let's go ahead and see what your destination is. Where and what are you moving towards? Oh, we have the Fool. Yeah, starting something completely new with the Eight of Cups. Beautiful way to end your reading here, where you are starting something completely new. So even though this is almost like a continuation journey, because so what I'm seeing here, it's like you have created something, and remember what I said in the beginning, it's like you've done all the work that you could do for that creation. Now it's time to graduate from that phase, and it's time to move on to something new. And so for some of you, it's about putting this creation out there into the world and allowing it to live on its own in the ways that it's meant to live. You've done all the work that you could do for it. Now it's time to hand it over to someone else and let them take care of the rest. It doesn't mean that you won't get the credit where the credit's due. It's just mean that now you're allowing it to survive on its own in the ways that it needs to, in the ways that it's meant to, so that it can reach the people that it's meant to reach, so that it can reach the people that it's meant to help. Okay, and then for some of you, there is a completely new beginning where you are going to be, again, connecting with others in a new way, but maybe creating something new, starting upon a completely whole new path, something completely different than what you've been doing and working on with yourself on your own. And again, I'm feeling like something around teaching, so maybe you're going to be teaching others the lessons and experiences that you have learned from this time being with yourself in solitude and inner reflection, those lesson plans that we talked about, which is so interesting. I realized the synchronicity here with the graduation caps as well, symbolizing school. So some of you may also be going to school or like becoming a teacher of some sorts, okay? And then with the Eight of Cups here too, this is really cool because I love how all the penguins are kind of like lining up here to watch the whale jump out of the ocean. And so it's almost like putting on this grand show. And even here with the Pomeranian here juggling, you know, there's like a show that's being put on. And this may be something that it seems a little bit challenging for you mentally, but once you allow yourself to step onto the stage, or to just essentially, you know, you can take that as a metaphor, like put yourself out there, put your creations out there. Once you allow yourself to put your creations on the stage, or you personally stepping out onto the stage, speaking your words of wisdom, your guidance, your truth, your lessons, your experiences, once you allow yourself to do that, everyone is going to gather around to watch you. And this is also going to be emotional fulfillment. It's something that's going to come very naturally to you from an emotional stance. Okay, so mentally, there may be some challenges that you have to overcome to allow yourself to really get up on that stage. But once you just do it, you're going to become a natural at it. You're going to realize how you're a natural at it, and that this is what this journey of solitude and a reflection creation was guiding you and leading you towards all along. All right, so you've got this, Pile 3, you've got this. You're on your way to success, to achievement, new adventures, new connections, receiving support, receiving community, and being able to help others in the ways that they are waiting for you to help them in. So this is a beautiful journey that you are going to be embarking upon, love. So that is it for your messages here, Pile 3. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up. And loves, let me know if you enjoyed this style of reading with the tarot spread. You know, usually I just pull cards out and we see what messages of guidance want to come through. But if you prefer the structure of a tarot spread, let me know, because I would love to do more of these. I shared on my Instagram like a week ago a bunch of spreads that I used to create and share with others. And I also have tons of tarot books, so maybe we could just like open one up, go to a random page and do that reading for the, do that tarot spread for the readings for the day. So just let me know if you like this structure, if you prefer the traditional way where we just pull cards and see what guidance comes through. I would love to hear from you all, loves, and let me know when you share this creation. I would love to support you in this journey. I want to see what it is that you're talking about, what it is that you're teaching with others. All right, love, so that is it for today. I thank you so much once again. Until next time, bye, loves. Hello, love. Welcome to those of you who chose pile 4. So if you chose pile 4, your guiding star is the duck with chrysanthemum and luck. And if you chose with the crystal, you chose the gorgeous Botswana agate here. All right, love, so what we're going to do is we're going to set this card aside because we are creating the Journey Tarot spread today to see what guidance you need to receive to help you along this new journey that you are embarking upon. And the duck card here is going to represent the star, which is actually number 5 in this tarot spread that we're creating today. So we are, of course, going to start with cards 1 through 3, which is the energy of what you are leaving behind. Okay, so we are tapping in to see what is holding you back, what's no longer serving you that you need to release. We're going to see if there's any lessons that maybe you've already integrated, that now it's time to put them to rest and just allow them to be as they once were. Okay, so let's see, what are you leaving behind? What do you need to say goodbye to? And then after we receive the guidance for this, we will go into the journey and see what messages of guidance you need to help support you in the journey that you're embarking upon. All right, loves, so let's see, what are you leaving behind? We have 8 of Swords. All right, 8 of Swords. We also have Ace of Cups. All right, and we have 10 of Swords. Okay. All right, so let's see, what's pile 4 leaving behind here? All right, pile 4, I almost feel like there's this sense of airiness in your reading, of course, because we have the swords. But the way the swords are illustrated here, it's almost like, like he's holding on to this rope, but he can't really see like what it's moving through on this journey. He's just kind of looking at a straight line, like I've got the rope and carrying it to where it's meant to be. And wherever it falls, that's where it lands. Wherever it trudges through, that's where it trudges through. There's not really any thought or emotion or energy as to why or how he's doing this or how he's moving the rope. And so it almost feels like you've been moving through this journey without like declaration of purpose. Okay, and so that is what's shifting here for you, is that you're needing to bring a greater sense of structure and purpose to what it is that you're maneuvering through. Okay, and so this really feels to me like if you chose pile 4, you may almost like embody this energy of just being really young at heart and just embracing like this sense of childhood energy, this sense of childhood freedom, and just wanting to really live life like with a sense of freedom, with this sense of like wildness. And Spirit's saying like there's nothing wrong with that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but for the sake of the journey that you're moving upon, Spirit's saying that there's something that you're wanting to embrace, something that you're wanting to embark upon that is going to require you to give it a little more attention, give it a little more thought, bring in the underlying sense of purpose as to the why you're wanting to pursue this, and as to the how you're going to pursue this. How are you going to make this happen? Okay, so these are some things that you want to reflect on and really ask yourself. There's something that you're wanting to achieve, because we have the Ace of Cups here, but it's like you've been trying to make this happen and nothing has been coming of it. You haven't been gaining successful results from it, okay, with the Ten of Swords here, because there's just this lack of structure, this lack of like progressive fluidity. Okay, it's just like you're just like trying one thing after another, not really thinking about how it's going to land, or if it's going to work, or if it's something that you're going to stay committed to for a long time. And so you just keep jumping from one thing to the next, and nothing's really landing because there's not like a superimposed end goal in sight, and then because there's just not like a solid structure for you to follow. Okay, but it is something, I feel like what you're trying to connect with, what you're trying to embrace, it is something that means a lot to you. It is something that you're really passionate about. It's something that brings you a lot of joy, a lot of peace, a lot of happiness. And going back to what I said around having like that sense of childhood energy, that sense of childhood freedom, you know, like people always tell you like you're such a child at heart, or, you know, maybe some people even tell you have an old soul, because old souls can be connected with this energy of like childhood wonder. And so even though people are always telling you that, the message just slipped away. Oh, it's around your passion. So this could also be like something that you've been very passionate about since you were a child. And that's why you've just been kind of, when you pursue this goal of yours, or this purpose, this passion of yours, you do it from that place of that like childhood wonder, that childhood conditioning, because it's something that was initiated within your being when you were a child. And so you kind of operate from that place of like childhood energy when you're pursuing this passion. But Spirit's saying like, you know, you've gone through multiple life experiences, and you have wisdom, you have skills that you can provide to this passion of yours, this childhood dream, that you have been wanting to pursue, that you've been wanting to find success in. You can apply the adulthood skills, wisdom, experiences that you have maneuvered through to this childhood dream of yours to ensure its success. Okay, but it is going to require you to really look at it and create a better sense of structure for you to allow progress to be made on this journey, so that you don't keep coming up short and just, you know, kind of landing where you fall and it not really wanting to be where you want to fall. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what you need to know about this journey, because I'm really excited to see how this is going to progress for you moving forward. All right, so just remember, those are things that you're leaving behind. That's what's holding you back. This energy of airiness, this energy of not having structure. Okay, so those are just some things that you need to assess and reflect on. All right, so we are pulling card number 4. Why are you embarking on this journey? What is this journey about for you? Okay, here we go. We've got this one jumping out, and this one will go with it. All right, and then we're going to pull a card to be paired with your animal star guide here. And so this is what is guiding you on this journey. So let's see, we're going to pair a tarot card with this. Okay, and then we'll pull card number 6, which is a challenge you may face on this journey. All right, so what challenge might pile 4 face? And then we're also going to pull an oracle card to pair with that challenge from the Sacred Rebels oracle deck. All right, so let's see what challenge might pile 4 face on this journey. Okay, we'll take that card. All right, and then we'll have the destination come out last here, number 7. So where and what are you moving towards? What is the end destination? You have 2 come out as well. Okay, 2 for the end destination. All right, so let's see though. Why are you embarking on this journey? What is this journey about for you, pile 4? Wow, we have 0 the Fool. 0 the Fool. And we also have Page of Swords. All right. So this is a new beginning for you overall. And even though this is something that you've been pursuing quite possibly since childhood, the ways in which you're pursuing it is what's changing. And so you are embarking on this journey again to create that deeper sense of structure and to ensure its success. Okay, Page of Swords is all about getting your mind right, building that sense of strong mental structure so that way you can create a strong physical foundation externally. Okay, and so there could be some experiences that you have to maneuver through around creating mental discipline for yourself to ensure the success of this journey. Okay, another thing that's coming through with why are you embarking on this journey is like wanting to really put yourself out there and putting the hopes and dreams that you have for this adventure, wanting to share that with others. Okay, so I'm seeing here that another thing that you might be leaving behind is that you may not really talk a lot about this journey. It's like it's something that you're really passionate about. It's something that you've been trying to achieve, trying to make happen for quite possibly years and years and years. But it's not something that you really like to talk about. And I'm seeing that you don't like to talk about it because it's something that you've been pursuing for so long. And then for some of you, Spirit's coming and saying maybe you haven't been pursuing it. It's just been like a childhood dream. It's just been a hope, something that you talk about from time to time, but people just, they kind of shut you down. They don't really get it because it's not something that you've pursued with a greater sense of structure, with a greater sense of like action and physical manifestation to back it up. And so now you're moving into a space where you can start being able to actually talk about this passion of yours because you have the solid foundation and sense of mental discipline and mental belief in what it is that you're wanting to pursue to back up the creation, the pursuit, the success of what it is that you're trying to achieve. So you're finally allowing yourself to align with things, actions, connections, communications that will back up this dream of yours. Okay, so I hope that makes sense, pile 4, because that was a lot. All right, but you're finally starting to gain that clarity, gain that mental discipline, and just put yourself out there. Take the leap, right? That's what the Fool is all about, is taking the leap, putting yourself out there, giving it a chance, giving it the chance that it desires and deserves, and giving yourself the chance that it desires and deserves. And Spirit's coming through and they're letting you know, if this is something that has been on your mind and heart for years and years and years, and I'm sure it has because we talked about it being a childhood dream of yours, something that you wanted to achieve for such a long time, then this is something that you're meant to pursue, and you're meant to pursue it wholeheartedly, okay, not half-heartedly, not just, floating about, hoping that something will land, hoping that something will come in and make sense. This is something that you have to choose to commit to and choose to align with, all right? You have to put in the work and the effort and create that strong, solid foundation to ensure its success and to ensure that it will manifest into everything that your heart has desired it to manifest and to become. You can do this, pile 4. All right, you can do this. That's why you keep thinking about it. That's why it's still on your mind and heart. That's why you're so passionate about it. That's why you're still thinking about it, because you are meant to pursue this. You are meant to create this. You're meant to give it a chance, but you have to give it a wholehearted chance. You have to believe in it, and you have to choose it every single day. All right, love, so let's see what's guiding you. So we have the Duck here with Chrysanthemum and Luck, and then we have Justice. Wow, 11 Justice. This card also came out as the Star in, I want to say pile 1. I think this was pile 1. All right, so let's see though here. What is your guiding star? This is all about creating the energy of balance and restoring this energy of karma. Okay, so the energy of what goes around comes around. Karma doesn't always mean a bad thing. It just means that you ultimately get what you deserve. You get what you put forth. And you haven't been getting what you want out of this journey, out of this pursuit, because you haven't been fully allowing yourself to commit to it in the ways that it requires you to commit to it. And so once you allow yourself to create that sense of structure, create that sense of discipline within yourself for the sake of what it is that you're wanting to pursue, then that energy of quote unquote good karma will return to you, and things will start working out and falling into place the way that you have mapped them out and planned them to, because you're creating that outline, you're creating that business plan, you're creating that structure, that strong, stable foundation to follow, to maneuver upon, to walk upon, to build upon. And naturally, when you do that, you'll know, if something's not working out, then you can quickly shut it down and start to build something that will work out. And you'll know exactly the results that you're supposed to get from it, or that you're hoping to get from it. And because of the efforts, the work, the energy, the purpose, the why, the how, putting all that energy behind it will allow it to manifest. It will allow that quote unquote karma to work out accordingly, and to allow things to come back into a greater sense of balance for yourself and for your relationship with this passion of yours. Okay, so ultimately, Spirit's saying that's the energy that you need to be allowing to guide you, is to really be reflecting on and questioning where things may be a little bit out of balance in your life, and how you can bring that sense of balance back into them. So just because you're allowing yourself to commit to this passion of yours, this childhood dream of yours, this dream or goal of yours that you have, just because you're allowing yourself to fully commit to this and create a greater sense of structure around it, it doesn't mean that you have to let go of that childhood wonder. It doesn't mean you have to let go of that sense of wildness, that sense of freedom that you possess. You can find a sense of balance within both worlds, where you have a little bit of structure, but you still have that freedom to go out and play with it as well. You can bring both elements to it. It's just here I'm seeing that you struggle a little bit with creating that sense of structure, that strong, stable foundation, to have that mental discipline and dedication to provide this dream, to provide this passion of yours what it needs to fully thrive and to succeed. And so once you allow yourself to really commit to creating that sense of mental discipline and to building those strong structural foundations, then you can also make time to bring in that sense of playfulness, that sense of airiness, and just kind of testing things out, experimenting with things just for fun. And you'll know when you need to kind of hone it back in and bring, a little bit more structure back to it, versus when you can let loose a little and just have a little fun with it. So it's not about, just going all in on one or the other. It's about bringing them into balance and asking yourself where you're a little too much this, where you're a little not enough that, and where you can, fill in those gaps to bring it back into balance. Okay. All right, love. So let's see what your challenge is. I feel like we've been talking a lot about challenges here in your reading, because it's something that you're working through right now. Okay. That's the energy of what you're working through in relation to this journey, this passion, this dream of yours. Okay. So challenge, we have 6 of coins, and we also have 17. What is already with you? Okay. So something new coming up here is, so 6 of coins is this energy of reciprocity, this energy of give and take. And what is already with you here, what I'm seeing is, I'm seeing that you may struggle with allowing yourself to build these strong, stable foundations because you get caught up in looking too far into the future for this dream of yours. You convince yourself that you cannot build the structural foundations that this pursuit, this dream of yours needs in order to succeed, because you're not already at that point of success. Okay. And so an example I'm seeing here is, maybe you're hoping to create something that requires like financial support, like something that requires you to pay for it. But you're not quite yet at that point where you may not have any profits yet. And so Spirit's saying that doesn't mean that you can't create a strong structural foundation or routine or outline for you to pursue based on what you have now to get to that point of being able to generate a profit so that you can invest in that next level thing that you're hoping to invest in the future. So ultimately, start with where you're at now and start with what you have now. As you continue to work with what you have, physical resources, mental resources, skills, wisdom, intuition, then, once you start taking those steps, putting it out there, aligning with it, giving it your time, energy, and effort every single day, the next steps will naturally open up and reveal themselves to you. And when you're ready to take those next steps, the resources will come in. The manifestations for you to align with that will come in, okay? And so another part of this too is that some of you may also be afraid to take this leap, okay, with the Fool, to fully embark upon this journey because it may require you to give more than you've been giving, okay, this energy of give and take. You're hoping to just receive the success, receive that end result, but you haven't quite yet put in the time, energy, and efforts that are being required of you in order to be able to take that end result, in order to achieve that end result. And so Spirit's really asking you to give all that you have towards this venture, towards this journey, to take that leap on yourself with what you have now. It doesn't mean you have to pretend that you have it all made and figured out and it's all perfect and the structure is completely strong and sturdy. You can be honest about where you're at now and just be honest about working with what's available to you now. And so I'm going to come in and share an example with you all. When I started reading tarot, I didn't have 2 or 3, 5 different decks. I have tons of decks now. I have like 50 decks. I had like 1, maybe 2 decks when I started reading tarot online. I didn't have a microphone. I didn't have a good quality camera. I didn't have anywhere like nice to set up and do readings. But you know what? I felt the intuitive call to start doing tarot readings online. And so I just started with what I have. And sometimes I still get in my head about not quite yet being where I want to be with reading tarot online, but I just keep trying. I keep working at it with what I have, with where my intuition guides me, and I just have to realize that that's enough. And it's always been enough. The messages that I share in these readings are reaching who they're meant to reach when they're meant to reach them. No matter the quality, no matter like what the background looks like, no matter what I look like, no matter what I sound like, it's reaching the people that it's meant to reach. And even more so than that, I'm listening to my intuition, following my intuition, and doing what I'm meant to do to give back and serve my community. And so that's the example that Spirit wants me to share with you, because it's like I didn't start off having all the tools that I have today, but I still kept trying at it until I was able to receive those tools or to be able to get them myself. You still have to keep trying, and then naturally when it's time for you to upgrade, when it's time for you to elevate, when it's time for this dream passion of yours to move into the next phase, it will naturally move into the next phase. Okay, and so right now, start with what you have, start with where you're at, and give it all you got, because that's what matters most. The key element in this whole journey of yours, this passion of yours, is you. You're the creator. You're the one that gets to connect with and experience and experiment with this path, with this passion of yours, and you're the one that gets to give birth to it. All right, you are the soul caretaker and the nourisher of this dream of yours, of this passion of yours. So stop sitting on it and stop letting time pass you by, and start giving it all that you have with what you have now. All right, love. So that is your challenge. And I know you've got this, and you have the means to start building that strong structural foundation for yourself, for this passion, for this dream of yours now. All right, love. So let's see the destination. Where and what are you moving towards? We have 18, the moon, and we have 3 of swords. All right, love. So this is a little bit of a more shadow aspect energy here. And so what I see is that this journey, when you start embarking upon this journey, you are going to be met with your shadows. And that may be why you are denying yourself of embracing this path by creating a stronger sense of mental discipline and physical structural foundations and outlines and like timelines for you to pursue, deadlines for you to meet, progress for you to move forward, is because you are going to come face to face with the shadow aspects that exist within you around the things, the beliefs, the thoughts that you tell yourself, that you convince yourself of not being able to have this work out, not being able to have this be successful and be worth your time, energy, and efforts. But again, this is something that's been with you for a long time, since childhood. And of course, when you are trying to shift the dynamic of how you operate with this passion of yours in order to ensure its success, you're going to come face to face with those challenges again and again that test your limits, that test your capabilities, that test how passionate you are about ensuring that this plan, this dream of yours works out, okay? And so ultimately, your destination cards, they seem a little bit heavier because of all the energy that we've been talking about in your reading. It's like a lot of energy that you're working through right now in order to help you align with the energy of just starting the thing, just putting yourself out there. It doesn't mean that there isn't going to be moments of joy and fun and success along this journey. It's just that this journey is teaching you deeper truths about yourself and what you're capable of and where you've been holding back and why you've been holding back. Okay, loves. And so even though it's going to be a bit challenging, it's going to be a bit heavy, we want you to get very clear on why you want to pursue this passion of yours and how you're going to pursue this passion of yours. And once you know that why, once you remember the purpose behind it all, you need to hold on to that, okay? Hold on to that and remember. And also remember where you came from without getting the results that you were hoping to get, because you've been in this energy of not having that sense of structure, not having that strong, solid foundation, just letting time kind of pass you by, hoping things just naturally fall into place even though they're not. Because there is that fear again of coming face to face with those shadows, coming face to face with those deeper truths about yourself. But it's going to be okay. You're going to get through this. Remember the guides that we talked about here, and restoring the energy of good karma coming back into your life, bringing things back into balance. It's not going to be without challenge, because you are recreating a whole system within yourself and within like how you interact and connect with this passion of yours in your external environments as well. Okay, loves? So just keep trying, keep working at it. You will get through this. You will get through this. And just remind yourself why you're doing this in the first place, what your purpose is, why you want to remain committed to it. And you will get through it, okay? And don't shy away from the shadows. The shadows are our biggest teachers in life. They are there, they're showing up to teach you something about yourself and to teach you deeper truths about the resilience and the strength that you have and about your capabilities, and to also test your strength and commitment to this passion of yours. But this is like your soul truth. This is like a soul journey that you are meant to walk upon. And I am seeing that this journey may take about 1 to 2 years time before you start to really see the end, quote unquote, end result of what you're hoping to see and receive. And my loves, again, Spirit's reminding me to share my personal journey with you. Like, I have been reading tarot online for I think 7 years now, and I am still not where I want to be with it. But you know what? I work with beautiful individuals, and I am so grateful to connect with the people that I connect with. I am so grateful to connect with you and to be able to share this guidance with you, because I know that it's helping you along your journey. And I know that the guidance and the connections I make with my individual clients, with the followers I do have online, I know that those connections and those experiences, the messages I share, are making a difference in their life, and they're allowing others to be seen. They're allowing them to be heard, and they're allowing me to serve in the ways that I'm meant to serve. And so I continue to show up and I continue to try, even though mentally, you know, I'm looking at the physical and it's like, wow, am I where I want to be? No, but I know in my heart that this is something that I'm meant to be doing. And so I keep trying at it. I keep facing off with my inner shadows. I keep working with what I have, and I get through it. And you will get through it too. Okay, love? So You've got this. Keep working at it. Keep trying it. And just remember your purpose. All right. I know I keep saying that, but you've got this, love. I believe in you. Now it's time for you to believe in you and to believe in your passions, to believe in what it is that you're pursuing, and to just stay committed to it as best you can. All right, loves. That is it for your reading today. I am sending you so much love and gratitude. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed this reading, please give this video a thumbs up and let me know, loves, did you enjoy this style of reading where we share a tarot spread and we pull individual cards for each different, signifier on the tarot spread? Or do you prefer my traditional style reading where we just pull individual cards and just see what comes through? Let me know what you prefer, because I thought this was kind of fun to do. It was a little bit different, but we get more direct clarity on the different questions that we ask. And I did share on my Instagram a couple weeks ago, like these old spreads that I used to create when I first started reading tarot. And so I kind of wanted to share some more of those. So let me know if you'd be interested in that. I also thought we could open up like one of my tarot books and just flip to a random spread and create that tarot reading together for the day. So let me know if you're into that. Or again, if you just prefer my traditional style reading where we just pull cards and see what comes through. So yeah, let me know, and let me know what it is that you're passionate about. Let me know what journey you're pursuing upon, what challenges you resonate with that you're working through, because I would love to be of support to you on this journey and witness your growth and evolution in this journey as well. So thank you so much, loves, for trusting me to bring forth these messages of guidance. Again, I'm sending you so much love. Until next time, bye.